What is good? What is up? It's Jordan or Texans Thoughts, and I'm back with another video today. We're going to be breaking down the Bengals game and show y'all, number one, how our backup offensive linemen were able to put together one of the best performances of the season. Then I'll also break down how the GOAT, Jacob Martin, did in his first official start, and how Keion Crossen continued to impress at cornerback. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and comment down below your thoughts on the video. Now, let's break down the film because the film don't lie. We gotta start it off with the GOAT, and Jake himself, he said that he doesn't understand where the talks of, Martin can't defend the run. It doesn't make sense to just assume that because he's more of a speed pass rusher type, right? And y'all know what the film does, man. It gives you the answers. And the GOAT, he was setting the hell out of the edge all day long. He was consistently playing fundamentally sound defense, which you can't say about most of the rest of our defenders. He did his job, setting a hard edge and forcing the run back inside time and time again. I've said it before and I'll say it again, but he's the best damn run defending edge on this team. And it was a crime that it took this long and for Merck to get COVID for the GOAT to start. I can't tell you how many plays there were this season where MIA Merck would get blocked by a tight end. But not Jake, not the GOAT. You can't disrespect him with a tight end because he's going to toss him aside and make the tackle himself. Now, they didn't give him pure pass rushing opportunities off the edge. For whatever the reason, they're obsessed with rushing him inside or dropping him in coverage, but Martin made the flashy plays that everyone loves to see by sniffing out a screen for a tackle for loss. He had a great day, despite still only playing 41% of the snaps. He had the same amount of tackles in one game that Merck's had in the past 5. Play the damn GOAT more! Let's move on to another young player though who was buried on the depth chart most of the season and has also played better than his competition. Keion Crossen. He was targeted 10 times on the day. The Bengals really went after him, but he forced 3 PBUs, 3 incompletions, and allowed 4 catches for 70 yards. It was an up and down day, far from perfect, but the biggest thing is that he was better than the guys who played ahead of him all season long, in Vernon Hargreaves and Phillip Gaines. Crossen's ability to locate and play the ball through the wide receiver's hands was brilliant, and something we've lacked all year. I think that's hands down his best quality as a cornerback. He's also a pretty solid athlete with good speed, and versus basic routes, routes where he didn't have to flip his hips very much, he was great. Almost elite, honestly. But where he struggled is versus advanced and more nuanced routes, where he's biting on the wide receiver's first move instead of playing it patient. He becomes a split second behind on some of these plays, and as a cornerback, one false step and that's all it takes. You're toast. We see that here versus AJ Green, who uses a great jab step inside to freeze Crossen. It takes way too long for Crossen to flip his hips back outside because he was thinking he needed to break inside to keep up with that jab, maybe it was a slant or whatever. Here, T. Higgins runs a great deep out route, and Crossen bites inside for 2 reasons. Number one, because we actually have him in a deep half here, so he needs to be responsible if Higgins breaks inside on a post. Right, he has no help from the middle, like if he was in a deep third and this was cover 3 instead. The second reason why he bites inside is very subtle inside movement by Higgins at the stem. He alters his path just the slightest, and Crossen's very reactive to that. He needs to work on his patience and not just biting on the first move. One more here where Crossen bites, and he does a great job to stay square until the break, showing a quick and fluid backpedal. But he's got to understand that very rarely do wide receivers break in the direction that their first cut is towards. Their first cut, 9 times out of 10, is trying to set up their actual route in the opposite direction. And it's little details like that really come from learning from your mistakes and getting real in-game reps to work it out. So overall, I'm cautiously optimistic about Keion Crossen. Let's see how he does next week because there are certainly traits to build off of here. So let's move on to the offensive side of the ball and talk about, why David Johnson had his best game of the season. And a major part is because our offensive line was finally creating lanes for him. we imposed our will on a pretty poor Bengals defensive line in front seven and blocked the second level linebackers better than we have all season. Here Sharping, he barely gets a finger on this linebacker, but it's enough to spring David, who definitely deserves credit for adding on these extra yards. He looked a little bit more like he's got more pep in his step, and that was definitely seen on his longest run of the season coming up here. The offensive line does great to demolish the front seven and get a hat on a hat and get DJ to this point, but from here on out, that's all 31, man. Makes two guys miss with the cut, and then boom, off to the races. And he's not going to burn anyone, but he finally runs hard, shows contact balance, and runs those feet to fight for every last yard. I'm happy for David. I'm happy he showed he can still do some pretty solid things if the blocking is there for him. Do I want him back next season though? No, because we can't be paying a running back as much as we pay him if all their success depends completely on the offensive line. And you'll see here that Rod Johnson and Max Sharping work a hell of a double team to spring this run, and they were doing it all day long. They showed great chemistry together, and here it looks like the Texans are outnumbered, but after the snap, they're able to really get a hat on a hat. Sharping doesn't leave the defensive tackle until he feels Rod is there, then he gets the linebacker out of the way to spring David yet again. The two really worked well together, and we saw that peak on the touchdown run. Martin is going to help Sharping here on the one tech, and look how they drive that defensive tackle out the gap. Rod works to the linebacker, and that's an easy touchdown. These runs between the tackles, they piss us off so much, but when they're executed well, it's super hard to stop. And having a powerful tackle like Rod Johnson is so helpful for this line. I always have people telling us we need a mauler. Well, Rod's your mauler. He's a strong dude in the run game, but also wins with power in the passing game. You aren't just gonna bull rush him. If you try and outpower him, you'll fall flat on your face. Literally. He also has a strong punch that can really stall a defensive lineman and keep them far away from Deshaun. This reliance on his punch, however, gets him in trouble sometimes versus speed rushers and guys who are good with their hands. Here, Carl Lawson uses Rod's punch against him and chops down on it to get by him. Rod still recovers to push him past the pocket, again because those hands are so powerful, but look at how he slows down his feet and how he's leaning over off balance. He needs to find the right mix of punching strong but also being patient and getting the timing down. I think he deserves a chance to fight for a starter role next year, as whenever he's come in, he's played well. But at the very least, I think we have our swing tackle for the future. Now that leaves us with the last offensive lineman I want to talk about today, and it's everyone's favorite, Charlie Heck. Heck. Look, he made some rookie mistakes that are fixable and have to do with eye discipline and can definitely get easily coached up. I wouldn't hold these two plays against him that badly, but he showed some patterns that I was worried about when I saw his tape at UNC. And the first is that he allows defenders to get into his chest far too often and far too easily. We just saw the powerful punches that Rod has, but Heck is the opposite. He likes to catch guys instead, and he absorbs the initial blow here, but you've got to be able to control the defensive lineman after this. You can't just let him have his way with you and get off the block. Heck wasn't able to sustain these blocks for long enough, and if we didn't have Deshaun Watson back there, man, it would have been ugly. He wasn't worst tackle in the NFL levels bad. There were still some good reps where he's able to push his guy past the pocket and give Watson a chance to step up, and you even see here how a legit punch could be very beneficial for him. For his first ever start in the NFL, it wasn't great, not even good I would say, but I don't want to pull every strand of my hair out just yet. Oh wait, then this happened. And all the pain I felt when I watched his college tape, and all the pain I felt when we traded up for him, and all that pain just came rushing through my veins again, and god damn it, I don't want to see Heck on the field again. But god damn it, we're gonna have to, and hope he can allow Deshaun to survive for one more damn week. And I'm gonna be forced to watch this lumbering giant try and not ruin our franchise's only hope at success. Fuck. Alright, that's gonna do it for the video. If you enjoyed, please do hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and comment down below your thoughts on the video. I'm trying to get y'all a Brian Daboll video this week. Y'all wanted both of these videos, so I'm trying my best, and be on the lookout for that. But as always, hope you enjoyed, come back for more, and remember, the film don't lie.